Following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
This is Mick Shots.
Streaming live on DallasCowboys.com and the official Dallas Cowboys app.
Now, here are Bill Jones, Savannah Humoller, Everson Walls, and Mickey Spagnola.
And Mickey Spagnola makes a grand entrance just as his name is announced here on Mick Shots on a Wednesday here at the Star in Frisco inside the SWBC podcast studio. Savannah, you like the grand entrance? Mickey timed it just perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, he's really good at it. He's gotten it down.
Bill,
you start without me?
Bill's voice sounds different.
That's
today.
a champagne voice.
There you go. There you go.
He walked down there with a cup and he was going, "Oh, can I catch any?"
Did you bring the goggles? Did you wear the goggles?
I did.
No,
I
he
brought
did
them with
not.
me, but they looked too weird.
Especially since he had to go out on the field
afterwards.
right afterwards.
Yeah. But it was an exciting night
I
at
saw
Globe
you,
Life
Bill.
Field.
I saw you, man. You were out there. You're in the mix.
Yep. They have a. This is good planning. When they built that ballpark,
Yes.
they built a celebration room, a celebration clubhouse to go along with a home and visitors clubhouse.
We're sitting there watching that, and I go, "Why is everybody walking down the right field line?" You know, it's like, "Oh, I bet they got a special room to go to."
Yep. Have you ever been in their clubhouse?
Not the new stadium.
You would understand why they're not going to spray champagne around that clubhouse. Jerry wouldn't want to spray champagne around this locker room, right?
Well, after 30-some years, he might.
Maybe.
Let me take that back.
Set you up perfectly for that one.
That's right.
Well, here we are on a Wednesday, and it's not a normal Wednesday because we've got Monday Night Football this week, an extra day. You think they need an extra day?
Oh, my God. This is not.
Yes.
You think so?
I think so.
I think after getting your ass kicked like that,
You want back out there?
I want back out there as soon as
You want
possible.
to be you want a Thursday game after that?
I would want a Thursday game. So we
But
can
not after you get
erase.
Thursday game.
Erase it, Savannah. Erase it as quickly as possible.
But not after you lose Monday.
Well, if I'm not playing the same team, I mean,
No, I'm saying you lose Monday because they got to bed probably at 5 or 6 in the morning.
you lose the day Monday.
no.
then.
Lose
No,
the day.
once again,
Because you played
that is not a
Sunday.
factor.
There's no
That is
Monday.
not a factor.
Yeah.
That is not a factor.
It is for your body.
That's one of the great things about baseball. They play a game again tomorrow, and typically,
Right.
So if you get blown out 15-1 in a game, then you're coming back out tomorrow and you might win.
Right.
So
You need to remember that there's 12 games left.
that's right.
Get that game. You got to flush it.
Well, I just think they need more time because the Chargers are coming off a bye, so they just need a little bit more time to reset and prepare.
They need more time because they got to figure out who's going to be on this roster at linebacker.
It needs
Which
some
leads us to
depth.
the news of the day. They're looking at linebackers.
Well, obviously you need bodies, right? Who did you see that they looked at?
The one I'm intrigued by is Rashawn Evans, former first-round draft pick out of Alabama, and
What's he doing?
he's unemployed right now. He might be employed by the end of the day.
So even if
he looks good.
even if he's employed.
Oh, what's he doing on the field in the game?
No, I'm saying it'll take him 2 weeks
sure.
before he's ready to play.
Oh, I'll have to look up exactly if he's been with a team or
Like, did he go to training camp and get cut?
I got to look it up.
Because
I've
that
been
would be
focused
We'll find
on
out.
baseball, Mickey.
that would be halfway through Vander Esch's stay on the practice. I mean, on IR. So
His shortest stay on IR. There's no
yes,
guarantee he's
right.
coming back
I mean,
when he's eligible
for sure
to
for
come
four.
back.
Yeah, four games. So he misses this one game following the bye, and then probably 2 more.
He was most recently with the Eagles on their practice squad in September and was released
There you go.
4 days after signing.
That's interesting.
Does it
4
say?
days.
Does it have a date when he was released?
I was trying to tune you guys out, but that kind of caught me.
Yeah, that caught my ear too. And by the way, the Morning News is reporting that the Cowboys are expected to sign Rashaan Evans following today's workout. A person with knowledge of the situation said. Roster move is pending a physical.
Okay.
So
Is that from
that may
Mickey
be a
Spagnola?
reason, that may be a reason why he has not caught on. There may be something going on with an ongoing injury situation with him. He is a veteran player and is a linebacker, and linebackers get hurt.
Right. And they need depth at linebacker because now you're one injury away from nobody, basically. Or the guy what was the guy they signed to the practice squad?
Mikel Jones.
I don't know much about Mikel. I'm sorry.
We talked about him a little bit last week. He's from Syracuse, and he is not a high draft pick like a Rashaan Evans. The other linebackers reportedly that the Cowboys had in for a workout, Jordan Evans out of the University of Oklahoma, Brandon Smith, and Tanner Vallejo, who has been a special teamer throughout his career.
Any of that get you excited?
Well, you need. Okay, let me ask you this. Did you get excited when Evan Carter got called up to the majors?
Yes, because I knew about him.
Oh, you did? Okay.
You don't know about these guys?
No.
Evan Carter wasn't a first-round draft pick.
Yeah, but he was tearing up the minor leagues, and they couldn't wait to bring him up.
Didn't the COVID pandemic kind of interrupt the start of his career?
Yeah, because I think that was his rookie year.
I'm proud of you.
Come
You're
on, guys.
up on these Ranger players.
See?
You're
See
so
this,
well-rounded, Everson.
Come on, I'm from Dallas, man. Come on, me and you, man. Come on. You went to
Which brings me.
You went to Vanilla Ice's school. Come on, man. I know all this stuff.
As we related it to the Rangers,
yes.
This relates to the Cowboys and the current situation with the Cowboys. Okay, the Rangers are sitting here. They've advanced to the American League Championship Series. And in all likelihood, their opponent is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. In other words, the Houston Astros, in all likelihood. If the Astros win one of the next two games against Minnesota, they are facing the Astros in the American League Championship Series.
Well, we have
what happened?
That would be so
we already
crazy.
called them out, so we must play them.
What happened last month when the Rangers played the Astros at home, early September? They got beat. They got swept by the Astros 3 games by a combined score of almost 42-10. It was 39-10.
Wow.
And what happened after that? Well, and then the next day, they put their cleanup hitter, Adolis Garcia, their Leighton Vander Esch, they put on the injured list, okay? They called up a just turned 21-year-old outfielder who spent most of this season right across the street over here playing for the AA Frisco Rough Riders. And he basically turned their season around, hitting in the 9th hole in the batting order. He's hit .320 with 6 homers, 7 doubles, and a triple in the last month. And now they're hitting him in the 5 hole. Going into the American League Championship Series.
And he's still hitting.
And he's still doing well.
All right, that's a baseball analogy, but I think it relates to what this Cowboys team has facing it right now. Just because you got beat by the team that is, if the Astros win one of these next 2 games, this will be their 7th straight American League Championship Series that they played in. And
you got to start it.
And you just got blown out by them 39-10, and now you've come back and you're waiting on them or somebody else in what would be the NFC Championship game in the Cowboys' case. You can turn this thing around.
You can turn it around, and they better start on Monday night.
I heard about this Astros team. Their approach. I didn't know anything about this. Their analytical approach. Yeah, well, that was part of what I saw. I don't know why they had to cheat because they kind of changed the game, didn't they? In regards to how you recruited and how you run a baseball team. They talked about how they kind of use analytics now in regards to how they judge their talent and how they call games, how they put together their team and all of that. And that's what allowed them to make the World Series, 4 times?
4 times in the last 6 years. Since the Rangers got bad, the Astros.
And even after they got busted, they still came back.
Yep, that's right.
And
even though they've had losses in free agency, and they've got players that they've.
So you know how they inspect the pitchers when they come in, check their hands, under their belt. Mm-hmm. Do they go into the Astros dugout and see if they got any drums in there?
Empty trash cans.
See if they're pounding on anything.
Producer Supreme wants to know if you've seen Moneyball with Brad Pitt.
Yes.
Yes. Great movie.
Mm-hmm. And so that's the connection, because they're the ones that really started that type of analytics type of analysis. Mm-hmm. And so they followed that through. They don't have old baseball guys now. They've got Wall Street guys. They got money guys. They got people in there that they're more analytic than they are sports guys. So a guy like Bochy, I don't know if he would even he couldn't make it in that organization.
The beauty about the Rangers is they've got Highland Park's own as their general manager, Chris Young.
Yep,
Chris
Young. And he is a baseball guy and an analytics guy. He's Princeton educated.
There you go.
And but he played 14 years in the major leagues as a pitcher.
Nice combination.
Yep. And so he also played for Bruce Bochy, and so a year ago right now, he's the guy that he targeted to be the manager of this team.
So that's probably why he feels comfortable with Dusty Baker, because Dusty Baker's he's Bochy. They're both one and the same.
That's right.
Yeah.
So to get this back to the Cowboys.
Yeah, back to the Cowboys.
If the Cowboys,
we were talking about the Cowboys.
Yeah, Bill still has to make his connection. He really
that's the
Bring
connection.
it home, Bill.
I'm trying
Bring
to
it
inspire
home.
this team.
if the
that we can come back
Cowboys,
from this.
if the Cowboys win a divisional round playoff game, are people going to be crying? Because all I hear is how the Rangers fans were crying after this victory.
Yeah.
Got a little ways to go.
Yeah.
Well, but they made it though.
Yeah.
I mean, if the Cowboys
It's great.
make it to
The Cowboy
the
fans are going to
championship
cry.
game, yeah, they'll
no,
be-
it's not the championship.
No.
Yeah.
well, it'd be the NFC championship.
If you win the
Yeah,
NFC
if you win.
championship.
I will make this admission about sports tiers. Okay,
Yes.
When the Rangers, and of course I grew up here as Everson did, when the Rangers in 2010 made it to the World Series, I was in the auxiliary press box at the old ballpark out in left field, and I'm making my way to do all the post-game interviews and stuff. They're going into the 9th inning, and it's obvious, okay, they're about to beat the Yankees to advance to their first ever World Series. And I was filled with emotion as I went out onto the field to do those interviews because of, just think of all, this is what's great about sports, and it's, and for Cowboys fans, I can see it with Cowboys fans who have followed this team for years and years. If they ever get to a point now again that to go back to a Super Bowl for the first time in
well, it's not just you guys.
Yeah, but it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's not the NFC title game.
Right.
Well, I think in regards to just an accomplishment, you, not just fans, but you as reporters, you guys are kind of closer to it than the rest of us are. I mean, you've been interviewing them through all those losses. Now you get to go down here and interview them because they won. And so the emotion is going to be that's going to be in that room. And you can't help but be touched by it.
Did you tear up when the Cowboys, after 15 years, finally went back to a Super Bowl?
I probably did. I probably had sports tears.
I was not tearing. I think I got cut, so I wasn't too happy.
How about, did you tear up, Everson? Did you tear up when you won a Super Bowl with the New York
Giants?
Giants?
No doubt about it. Yeah,
that's
sure.
That's the ultimate goal.
No, I teared up so much. They asked me my first question. I'm on the podium. I'm ready to have my moment. I teared up after the first question. I looked up. They all ran to LT. I was done. There was nobody else in front of me. So I was like, oh, well, that was my moment.
15 seconds.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. But no, can't take it away from you.
You teared up at a sports moment ever?
I'm trying to think back. Probably.
Have you had a reason to? Let's put it that way.
To be honest, I don't think I have. I'm waiting for it.
There you go.
I'm waiting for it. It'll come one of these days.
She's born too soon.
Now, I'll admit when the White Sox won the World Series in 2005 in Houston, by the way, that was the first thing they won in my lifetime and my father's lifetime. So think about that.
Yeah, that's emotional.
And it teared up because I'm thinking, okay, Dad, you passed away 2 years too soon.
Man,
and that's what drives the tears is it becomes a part of your family. It's a recreational thing. Yeah, you do it in your leisure time. But I have more text on my phones regarding sports than anything else, for family members or friends or whatever.
That's true.
I mean, it's just part of your everyday life that you live. And like for instance, on that time with the baseball in 2010, I'm thinking about all those summer days where the baseball is on the radio and going to a Ranger game where there's only 3,000 people.
What you remember are the losses.
Yeah,
that's what you remember.
Those are the painful ones. I've had sad tears, but not happy tears.
Well, those losses they lead to the happy tears.
Yeah,
because it's the pain that you went through that brings on the joy. I mean, that's just, to me, that's pretty connected.
Mm-hmm. And Mickey's checking his phone
emotional
for all
right
of his
now.
sports texts.
No, there was something I was checking.
He's like, you guys are boring me.
All right, we continue with more Mick shots in just a moment.
Nate in Houston.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
Back to Mick Shots.
K-Post Roofing and Waterproofing, the official roofer of the Dallas Cowboys.
All right, more on this Rashaan Evans. Okay, I'm going to convince you, Mickey.
All right. Tell me,
this would be
is this guy going to come in and play better than Micah Parsons?
No.
Better?
Well, then that's my linebacker.
That's quite a question
but he's
there.
He could free up
He said
Micah
better.
to do what Micah can do.
He went way past equal. Better.
Micah Parsons.
I would compare. I'm comparing him with Leighton Vander Esch.
Well, Vander Esch is leading the team in tackles right now.
Rashaan Evans led the Atlanta Falcons in tackles last year. With 159 tackles.
Well, then how come no one?
He started in every game last year.
That's the question. I don't know without further research if he's coming off an injury or maybe his salary demands were such that he didn't want to play for whatever was being offered out there to an inside linebacker. He is 27 years old. He is, let's see, what would that be? 3 months older than Leighton. He was a first-round pick, number 22 overall in 2018, the year before. Leighton was the 19th overall pick in 2019. And out of Alabama, he started 4 years with the Tennessee Titans and then last year with the Atlanta Falcons, leading them in tackles with 159 tackles.
Okay. That sounds good.
I like all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if he is healthy, Cowboys might have hit on something here.
But if he's not,
then we keep searching.
Now, this is the guy that just got cut, right?
Well, he was signed to the Eagles practice squad on September 12th and was released 3 days later. That's the curious thing.
I'm trying to find out.
So he was there for the season opener?
Basically.
Or right after?
Right. He was one of those. What date did I say?
September 12th.
So the week after. So he was one of those that you aren't going to
wouldn't
sign.
have to for guarantee his salary.
Yeah, right. And so he signed day after, basically the week after the first game, and then 3 days later. It might have been his own choice that he asked to leave.
To leave.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Could be.
Hoping that there would be better offers out there. So.
I'm sorry. I was still laughing at Nate in Houston. Sorry about that.
What's Nate in Houston doing?
Well, Nate was trying to equate the
Nate's
conversation.
in Houston?
Yeah, this is Nat. This is Nat in Houston.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's Nat. Yeah, but what he was trying to say was.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Yeah, not really.
It would be like the Cowboys winning the division round comparing
to
the NFC title.
To the NFC Championship game.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
That's where they're going.
All right. Well, Nate got it now. On that.
So, Mickey?
I don't think there'll be any Cowboy tears if they ever got that far. They'd be shooting guns up in the air.
So what's on your Cowboys' mind?
Well, Micah Parsons is. Let's see what they're going to do with him.
I don't mind him being that linebacker.
No, I think that's where he should be.
Mm-hmm. You always did think that.
It's kind of hard to double team a linebacker.
But what do you say about him being on the defensive line and making the plays that he makes?
Well, he hardly made a play this last game.
I was going to say, they
erased
the
him.
Time.
Well, yeah, I was the main one fussing about it. I remember talking about the play, but
and he got erased by Arizona too.
Interesting.
Think about it. Mm-hmm. The two teams that ran for 222 yards and 177 yards.
And he was playing defensive end pretty much
the whole time. Mm-hmm. Now, there was a couple plays in this last game. They had a 5-man front, and he was like they used to stand the strong side linebacker on the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. And I saw them do that a couple times.
Right.
Which, he's not as susceptible to double teams on that part of the deal. Because you're going to double DeMarcus Lawrence and him. He can't do both. Somebody's going to be free. Maybe that's why Hankins was getting batted balls down at 330 pounds.
I was wondering what would the Chargers think the Cowboys would do with Parsons. If I see what 49ers did, if I see what the Cardinals did.
Yeah.
Running up the middle successfully, then I would anticipate that it's about time that we put Parsons in the middle as opposed to putting him on the line.
And I'm sure they'll know because somebody here will tip it off, right?
Yeah.
They'll just keep reading the paper or listening to our podcasts.
So if we're making this adjustment now, are we making it just for the injury or are we making it because of strategy? Because if that's the case, sometimes we need to make that adjustment during the game.
Well, how about just playing 3 linebackers sometimes?
That's what I'm saying.
Instead of a safety.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say that Leighton was still healthy. What would you propose? How would you propose the base defense be for the Cowboys?
Sort of like they did his rookie year before they lost Randy Gregory, by the way. I don't think he was in San Francisco either. During the game.
Mm-hmm. No, he's going to play next week.
He had to go back and get his stuff. Oh, you know who I saw? Got to shake hands with Anthony Brown.
Oh, cool.
He got in for a couple of plays.
He was in good spirits, and I said, "How you doing?"
I bet he is.
Because we talked about.
He's on the winning team.
We talked about. No, that was before. Yeah, we talked about torn Achilles, and I said,
"Oh, you told him your story."
I told you. No, I already had when he first had it. And
you guys click heels when you met each other.
He said it was very difficult coming back. He goes, "Now I'm back. I got to get on the field."
Mm-hmm.
And evidently, how many? He got a couple, right?
Yes, he did. I think it was maybe one on defense and one on special
teams.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So while you're looking that up, I want to know. I was going to head to a question, meaning who are they going to put on the D line in place of Parsons while Parsons is lining up at linebacker?
Well, yeah, you got 2 snaps.
Damone Clark. Marquise
Dorrance Armstrong.
Dorrance Armstrong.
I mean, you've got Dorrance Armstrong, you got Sam Williams, you got DeMarcus Lawrence, and Dante Fowler. So you got 2 guys on each end that you could rotate as defensive end. And, Dorrance is pretty good against the run. Lawrence is pretty good against the run. The other guys are kind of designated pass rushers.
Dorrance, how many sacks last year?
8.5.
That's what I thought, yeah.
So...
And had 2 in the first game this year, but shut out since then. He Dorrance. So just give you an example against as far as snap counts. Dorrance Armstrong against San Francisco had 23 snaps on defense. Sam Williams had 20. Dante Fowler had 13, and DeMarcus Lawrence had 34, while Micah had 59.
Yeah.
And Leighton had 58.
So we're still looking, even though Parsons is going to be moved to linebacker, we're still looking at only 2 linebackers in the game.
Well, if that's the way they're going to play it. I mean, that's the way they've been playing it. And then I saw this little interesting stat.
I'll also point out on these snap counts, those lower snap counts against San Francisco for those edge guys had a lot to do with the way San Francisco plays offense with a fullback on the field. Damone Clark was on the field more snaps, 20 more snaps this game than he was against New England. He was on the field for 46 snaps because of not only the fullback on the field plus tight ends for San Francisco, but also the nature of the game.
And plus, Vander Esch didn't play the whole game.
He played 58 snaps, and Parsons played 59, so he played them all the way into the fourth quarter. So.
Right.
You just mean their propensity to just run the ball.
Right, and with the lead, they're not. Yeah.
And I just saw this. In week 1, the Chargers rushed for 233 yards against the Cleveland Browns. And that was anchored by Austin Ekeler, 117
injured until
rushing
Monday
yards.
Okay, there we go.
And it says here, since then, the Chargers' rushing game hasn't been as affected, with no rusher eclipsing 100 yards.
And guess who's coming back this week?
And this past week, the team amassed 155 yards on the ground. And Ekeler says 99% sure he's playing on Monday night.
Here goes nothing.
So when you ask, what do you think the Chargers are going to do? They're going to test that run game for sure, especially when your leading tackler's not out there.
And you saw not just, like you said, the Cardinals did it as well with the quick little running back we were talking about with not quick little running back, but the wide receiver that had the inside handoff on us and took it to the house. That's an Ekeler play.
Arizona.
With the way Arizona did it, but that's the way Ekeler played.
And I don't know if they've got a wide receiver they're going to hand the ball to like Deebo Samuel, but that caused some problems too. And as a matter of fact, the playoff game, was he the one that scored the rushing touchdown? Their only touchdown in that game, I think it was.
I don't know.
Against the 49ers?
Yeah, in the playoff game. I want to say it was Deebo.
I thought it was McCaffrey, but
or maybe it was McCaffrey and Deebo ran for one the year before. But Deebo...
I didn't know Kellen Moore called running plays, though.
I didn't say anything about...
when we're looking ahead to the Chargers.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
They have somebody else as the run game coordinator.
That's a good one.
He just calls the pass plays.
Yeah, it was
with the number 5 offense in the league, by the way.
Cowboys are 17th.
They fell. What's the word? Precipitously?
Precipitously.
Precipitously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That wasn't it.
That's why I said, is that how you say it? I had no confidence in myself.
Mickey is in a mood today.
He
You notice?
He reminds me of my dad. Like when I would ask him a question, he would yell the answer. I would just tune out.
Chargers.
You know what I'm saying?
The Chargers have the
Wait till he's done on the rant.
sixth ranked passing offense, by the way.
Damone Clark.
That's right.
Mickey's upset that the White Sox aren't going to the American League Championship Series.
I could have told you that.
I just tune out when he starts talking to me like that.
I could have told you that in May.
My dad, you know.
Okay, I think we need to take a break.
Yes,
and
man.
try to get Mickey. Something's up with Mickey. Maybe there's some more Mick shots to come
Yeah, we
here
need
when
to have
Mick
a rap
shots
thing later on.
continues in a moment.
Jeez, you missed 3 opportunities, Chris.
The Medal of Honor is our country's highest military award for valor in combat. More than 40 million individuals have served in the armed forces since the Civil War. Fewer than 4,000 have received the Medal of Honor. The National Medal of Honor Museum will be a place to preserve these legacies and inspire America. It's being built right next door to the Dallas Cowboys in Texas. Help us honor our country's greatest heroes. Learn more and get involved at mohmuseum.org.
Cowboys football and Miller Lite. What a pairing. Can cracks at kickoff. Tailgates going way past postgame. Sunday night overtimes followed by Monday morning swagger. Brisket in the smoker. Miller Lite in the cooler. America's team playing America's greatest sport. Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys football tastes like Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2023 Miller Brewing Company, Fort Worth, Texas.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
You know that sound anywhere. It's the crisp crunch of that first nacho chip. With its perfect cheese to sour cream ratio sitting atop a layer of delicious beans, it's a sip away from perfection. That's what we're looking for. Add a delicious, refreshing Pepsi and we've achieved absolute nacho nirvana. Because while you can pile those nachos high with every spicy, cheesy, savory topping, there's no topping a cool Pepsi finish. Nachos, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Back to Mick Shots.
The most action-packed motor sports experience in the world returns to Arlington. Head to AT&T Stadium this Saturday, October 14th for Monster Jam. Tickets are available now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing provider of AT&T Stadium.
All right. Well, how are things doing on the text line over there?
You know, I actually can't say.
She's been looking up other stuff.
We have not been logged into the text line today.
Oh, goodness.
Producer Supreme.
There's people on that are on that text machine who are wondering, why isn't she reading my text?
By the way,
we're also looking up Rashawn Evans stuff today.
Yeah.
By the way, this is it's a Wednesday, but this is sort of the Cowboys' Monday, like day after a game, because yesterday was a day off. Monday got washed out. So they were out there.
Because of the late game on Sunday night.
So they were out there. I saw the defense anyway out there doing their normal Monday kind of loosen up type stuff. On the cords, by the way, the resistant cords, Wanye Thomas and KaVontae Turpin. And I thought from Turpin's standpoint, being able to do those steps on the resistant cord was a step in the right direction. And I was told that he's day-to-day. So that's kind of encouraging when he didn't finish the game with the ankle injury.
Especially when you consider, I think it was on Monday morning, there was some report out there that he was going to be out for like a month with a high ankle sprain.
Oh,
like
there
4
was.
to 6 weeks.
Yeah, 4 to 6 weeks.
He was 4 to 6?
Yeah, that was before anybody said anything here. Before it was Monday morning, and I can't remember who reported it. And, of course, it gets out there on social media, and it becomes fact.
That's right.
All of a sudden.
We could throw somebody under the bus.
And that's why eyebrows were raised when McCarthy at his press conference on Monday said there's a chance he could be back in practice this week. And because wait a second, there was a report that he was
had
going
to go
out
on
4 to
IR.
6 weeks with a high ankle sprain.
Well, the coach must be wrong.
Or sandbagging. But that's no sandbagging when you can do those things on the resistance course.
Well, that's very encouraging.
Yeah. See there, I've got encouraging news.
You know, it's just so weird when injuries are so prevalent these days, and not to sound like the old "get off my lawn, old man," but I just remember standing beside Too Tall Jones pretty much every game of my entire career.
And you were playing 16-game seasons.
Yes.
We're not going back to 12-game
Right.
seasons.
All 14.
I was thinking before, back in 1960, they played 10-game seasons. And so you're playing 7 more games a season than they did 50 or 60 years ago.
Yeah.
But in about 1977 is when it went to a 16-game season.
Okay.
And so throughout your career it was a 16-game season, and you didn't see the injuries, the number of injuries, it seems like, that what we have now.
And we participated in preseason games as well. Mm-hmm. And very
Look
difficult.
what returned, by the way.
Hey, where'd that come from?
The Cowboys media guide, for those of you not watching.
It's back.
Somebody sneaky.
Someone returned
put it back in. I think it was Nathaniel from Frisco. San Francisco.
Yeah.
San Francisco.
But I just do recall every time I looked in that huddle, it was Mike Hagman, Too Tall Jones, Randy White, Michael Downs. You know, my strong safeties, Dexter and Charlie would be often injured. But for the most part, those guys were always in the huddle. Is there something I'm missing?
Well, the rules are different as far as injured reserve now. Okay, and in fact, they just changed. Started with COVID. They changed where you can go on injured reserve for only 4 weeks. Okay, and back then you were done if you. You were on the roster, or you're out for the year.
They were never on injured reserve. The guys
back when he was playing injured reserve, you could come back.
They were never injured.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
They abused it so badly to stash people.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they changed it then in the 90s.
You cannot come back.
Yeah, you couldn't come back.
Because back then they would send an independent doctor to check on guys to see if they were practicing.
So are they running that much harder? Are they hitting that much harder than Randy White, than Too Tall Jones, than Harvey Martin? I know they actually missed some games, but I rarely remember being in that huddle without those guys, especially the front four.
Well, to me, that's what happens when you aren't playing football in practice or in training camp. You're just touching up. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden your body gets in situations that it's not used to. And I think it creates injuries.
That's a good point.
It is a good point. Put a stamp on it.
And by the way,
back to baseball, it's why baseball starting pitchers can only go like 5 or 6 innings, whereas in 1974, Fergie Jenkins had 29 complete games.
They're going 9.
By the way, they went to 16 games in 78.
Okay. That's on Bill.
I'm sorry.
That's on Bill.
Bill was
I was
a year off.
You got false information. But no, you think it makes that?
He continues.
You think it makes that much of a difference? You think it makes that much of a difference?
16 games.
Yeah, well, just
17 games.
Injury reports, not practicing as much. Worrying about
the injury reports back then weren't very official either. They were kind of like hockey things, right?
Because there wasn't gambling back then.
Yeah, nobody gambled since Paul Hornung and Alex Karras got suspended.
So I wonder if I played now, I'd be
Injured?
Oft injured.
Yes, you're how old? You would be injured.
Oh my gosh!
I have to be faster too, though. I have to be a lot faster.
You could have been in that commercial with Emmett and Barry Sanders.
Right. And Marino comes out for the coin toss. Yeah. He got his hands on his knees. It just, to me, just when we focus so much on not just injuries, but these are key individuals that are getting injured.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, and to me, it's just
quarterbacks. So who just lost their Indianapolis?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's on injured reserve as well.
Again gets hurt. He gets hurt every game.
Well, because he's running all the time. He's not a running back. Mm-hmm. One of these days, they're going to figure that out with these quarterbacks.
Well, Jalen Hurts doesn't have a problem.
Well, he's going to get Hurtsed.
You tried it.
I tried.
You tried it.
He's on a roll. You're on a roll.
I'm trying to take him off, but no, he's there. He's going to stay there. I give up. Your turn. Your turn, Savannah. I'm done.
I'm not even sure how he said that. Hurts.
With a Z and ED. Yeah.
Hurts.
He does. Hurts. He takes care of himself. He's smarter the way he runs,
and he's lower body stronger, I think, than most.
Oh, he's definitely that.
You know, these 6'4" guys that are only 220 pounds or 210 pounds.
But there will be, and Cam Newton was like that. You know, Cam Newton ran a lot, and eventually he's going to get worn down. It shortened his career.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. And it's not so much the scrambles either. It's the called running plays. That is it necessary?
Is he leading his team in carries? I believe he is.
Well, if
he is especially when you're talking third downs. And I don't mean just third and short. I mean, this guy's going on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4, 2nd and 10.
Definitely going on 4th and 1.
Yeah, we know that. 1st and goal.
Who's going to win the race? Who's going to win the race? Oh, come on, Pro Football Reference. My
Wi-Fi.
My Wi-Fi is not working right.
Hurts he already has 55 carries for 206 yards. So that's his number right now.
And how does that rank on his team as my Wi-Fi tries? Come on now.
Swift is leading.
Swift has 76 attempts. I won.
Go, Bill.
I won.
No, it was a tie. It was a tie. I didn't want to talk over you. Swift is he's 4th in the league in rushing right now. And that wasn't planned, right? Didn't they have somebody else and he took over for him? I can't remember.
Well, they signed Rashad Penny also.
That's right.
He's had injury issues himself in his career, but yeah, DeAndre Swift leads the way for the Eagles. And Hurts is number 2. Kenneth Gainwell has 39 carries.
Yeah.
So, all right, we got 3 more minutes to kill here, Mickey.
Mickey can kill it.
You got any more worries about the Chargers? And we'll get into them more tomorrow.
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. And by the way, his quarterback coach is Doug Nussmeier, too.
Mm-hmm. He went out there with Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
And we were correct. Williams is out, correct?
Yes, Mike Williams is out. Yep.
Mm-hmm. He was the one that got hurt.
Yep. And they've got the TCU rookie, first-round draft pick Quentin Johnston. It'll be interesting to see if he works more into the mix. It's just recently that Williams went out. But Josh Palmer is their second guy.
Have they played a game without Williams? Did it happen the last time they played?
They have played a game
right here. He last played against Minnesota, which was week 3.
So they played week 4 and then were off this past week.
Williams had 19 catches for 249 yards the first 3 games of the season. And Keenan Allen, in that same game that Mike Williams' last game was, Williams had 8 targets in that game. Guess how many targets and how many catches Keenan Allen had at Minnesota?
15.
In that
13.
28-24 win 12. For the Chargers. 20 targets, 18 receptions for 215 yards. And he threw a 49-yard touchdown pass.
That's even more impressive.
Was that because Justin Herbert fractured the middle finger on his left non-throwing hand? Which, by the way...
Well, he threw the ball 47 times in that game. He was 40 out of 47,
405
yards, and 3 touchdowns.
I think he was all right.
Although he got hurt week 4, against the Raiders. It says he practiced with a glove on his injured hand. So they basically, I read where, well, if he can't go under center, then they'll just go shotgun to take the pressure off his left hand.
What is the plan for CeeDee Lamb? That's something that I want to know from Mr.
Get me the ball.
Mr. Beat Writer here.
Get me the ball, especially when we're losing.
Mm-hmm.
See, those guys are fine as long as you win, right?
Yeah.
He's no different than Michael Irvin. You just name
Tony Hill.
Yeah, name
Butch
the
Johnson.
wide receiver, right? If you're winning, it's fine. When you're losing and he gets 4 receptions, then it's a problem. And that's just kind of the wide receivers.
He was pretty demonstrative when he caught the ball a couple of times.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
He kind of postured towards the sideline, like, okay, I just caught a 29-yard pass. Maybe you want to throw it to me again?
Yeah, he wants the ball.
And he needs the ball.
One thing I can
Somehow,
see,
some way.
I played it to my advantage. When we played on natural grass, I didn't have nearly as much fear for the fast guys and the shifty guys. It kind of leveled the playing field for me.
The grass worked in your favor?
It definitely did. It sure enough did.
See, I never understood that, why the grass slowed down fast guys, but it didn't slow down slow guys.
No, we're still. See, here's the thing. That's not the approach of the slow guy.
Okay.
The slow guy's approach is, I don't have to compute as quickly. He's slower. I'm always going to be slower. I'm accustomed to being slower.
So it's your reaction.
But it's my reaction here, me being able to read his route. And you can see in the game, they weren't afraid to jam those guys on the line of scrimmage because they really don't have the fear of that acceleration that you get on.
They're playing to their home field.
This guy here. This guy, man. See, thank God they weren't listening. They weren't listening. Never.
No, I heard him say play on his own field.
Yeah. You got to look at his face when he says it.
Well, we're overtime now.
Yeah, we're out of time. Yeah.
Out of time.
Out of time, overtime.
Well, don't get sad about it.
And now there will be football players on a football field tomorrow, so Mickey will be in a much better mood on the next edition of Mick Shots.
But I think they start their football stuff on the football field at noon.
At noon.
So you're going to be in a bad mood again
because we can't watch.
Correct. That is correct.
Okay, talk to you tomorrow at noon.
Go Cowboys.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!